Okay, great. My seventh point is sort of like the antithesis of universe self-replication cosmology, but it's a really important point. And it's based on a paper that is sort of like has been published into a popular style book by Hawking-Hertog, who worked for the last 20 years of Stephen Hawking's life, worked with him. So it's Stephen Hawking, the famous physicist, maybe the world's most famous physicist, the poor guy that had Lou Gehrig's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and he could barely move and then couldn't move and could barely communicate, and by the end of his life could really hardly communicate at all. But Hawking-Hertog says that he had developed a rapport with him, and so they continued to work together right up till Hawking's death in, I think it's like 2016. So the theory is, and it was Hawking's idea more than Hertog's, I think, at least Hertog will tell you that to hell with, we don't know what happened at the Big Bang. It's a complete conundrum and doesn't make any sense. So to hell with that, let's develop a theory of how the universe got to be the way it is today in reality without assuming anything about the initial boundary conditions. Just work backwards, look back, and see how the result that we observe might have come about. And I'm not going to, or can't really, coherently explain a whole lot of the details, but basically one of the key points in the theory is that, and it's a quote from the paper, the 2004 peer-reviewed physics paper, not Hertog's book, which is a popularization, and I haven't even bought it and read it yet. The quote is that there are a series of random events, quantum events, that have to have happened, and there are a series of selection events. Each one of these replication events or quantum random chance events, when they take place, the quote in the paper is that this is a sort of a branching or a new start of a new universe. So bing, universe self-replication in a sense, but working backwards, working from lack of what we know, lack of any information about the initial conditions. But the universe, each selection event creates essentially a new universe in which the previous status or state no longer matters, doesn't matter at all, because we don't know what it was like, but we know that this selection event had to take place. All right. That kind of plays into the philosophy and the epiphany for today, but I'm setting that aside, and pretty much, I think it integrates with it, with my epiphany, but I'm setting it aside and focusing on the Everett many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics as being a participant in this universe creation process, but it creates only forward-moving changes. No, like the universe in a test tube method, which essentially starts with a new Big Bang or a new false vacuum, which is back to really close to the Big Bang. All right, here we go again.